Hi guys, this is Mr. Gore. I'm going to show you today how to conduct your inventory and register it on your inventory form, and then how to self-assess against the Criterion F Attitudes and Technology rubric. So to get started, you'll need to open up your Google Drive and go in and find this NXT Inventory document that you created at the very beginning of the unit. Now remember, we created it using 4 columns. Of course, in this first column, that's the names of each one of the pieces. In the second column here, this is how many pieces the manual, the user guide, tells you that you should have. In the third column, it is the number of pieces that you actually had in your kit when you started building the robot. And then today in class, we're going to fill out our final column, which is the number of pieces that you actually finished the unit with. And you're going to go through your kit and count up all the pieces, enter those numbers in here as this group is done, into this column, and what that's going to allow us to do then at the end is compare the total number of pieces you're finishing with now with the number of pieces that you started with. Now, as you can see from this group, they started with 424, they've ended with 408. That means they've lost 16 pieces since the beginning of the unit. Okay, so how then do you get these total numbers down here? Well, of course, you could always go through and count them by hand, but since we're working on a Google spreadsheet, it'll actually allow you to do the whole addition here right on the page using a simple formula, and I want to show that to you. So if I double click on this, you'll see the formula is you write equal SUM parentheses, and then we're going to enter C2 in here, and that corresponds to column C, row 2. Okay, and of course column C, row 2 is where we put our first number, so we want that to be the first number that's added, and the colon is going to tell it to add all the numbers until C94, which of course is column C, row 94, the last number in the column. If you put that in there, that formula, and hit enter, it'll give you the grand total. And of course, on this column, you do the same thing, except this time we're going to change from C2 and C94 to D2 and D94, because now we're working in column D. And we want to tell it then to add from D, column D, row 2, all the way down to our final number, column D, 94. Okay, this is great, but according to your attitudes rubric, which I have right here, you need to provide me with the percentage of correct pieces that you're turning in at the end of the unit. So there's another simple formula that you can do, that you can use in Google Spreadsheet to calculate that for you. And I'm going to go ahead and put percent correct, and then here, if you put equal and then divide, you'll see that Google will actually give you the formula to use to divide two numbers. And the first thing I notice here is that they're not using the colon, which is the 2 dots, but they're using the semicolon to divide the numbers. So I'm going to make sure I do that. I'm going to put the parentheses, and in this case, I can actually click here, and D95 will show up. I'm going to divide D95, semicolon, by C95. I'm going to put the parentheses around it. When I click enter, it calculates the percentage. Now, of course, this is still in decimal form. If I want to change that, I can go in, push asterisk times 100. This will multiply it by 100. You see what that looks like? And then, when I push return, it gives me the percentage, 96.2264, whatever. Okay, now that you have this number, what I'm going to ask for you to do is at the end, you're going to go to your DT assessment feedback form. And I have posted in the assessment rubric in there. What I want you to do is read over the rubric. I want you to self-assess. And down here in student comments, you're going to write a quick, maybe short paragraph assessing yourself according to the attitudes and technology rubric. And then at the end, I want you to put the number, the percentage correct, and tell me who from another group checked your numbers so that I know that it's reliable. And then finally, you're going to come back to your NXT inventory document, You're going to copy the URL and paste that into the bottom of your student comments. Okay? And that way, I'll be able to see your reflection about your attitudes. I'll be able to check your percentage correct and visit your inventory document myself in order to assess you and give you your level. Okay? Follow these instructions to do it correctly. Ciao.